Life Check Yourself with Mayumi Pachkoski. From skincare to soul care. How energy healing and ikigai created a purpose-driven business. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Life Check Yourself. I am so happy to be here. I have been all over since I recorded last in New York and Washington, D.C., and doing so many fun things. And when I looked at my calendar today and I saw that I get to interview Mayumi, did I say it right this time? Mayumi Pachkoski. You're going to love her story. She brings 2 decades of expertise into the U.S. beauty industry, specializing in holistics, anti-aging skincare facials, and transformative energy healing sessions. She was trained in aesthetics in the U.S. She's a former instructor at one of the nation's most prestigious aesthetic schools. And she has masterfully blended Asian and Western skincare techniques. And she's integrated energy healing into her practice. And in 2008, she launched an actual brick and mortar salon in Maryland and grew it from just a little startup into a thriving 6-figure business. And I'm just so excited to talk to you because I think that so many people have dreams and ideas, and they have all the stories of why they can't. And you are living proof of what's possible. And so thank you for sharing your inspirational story today with our listeners.
Oh, thank you for having me today, Marni.
So you came to the U.S. How old were you when you came here at first?
When I came to United States, so that's after I married with my husband. He's American, and we used to fly together as a flight attendant. That's how we met.
I love it.
Based, based, and my husband was at that time Guam based. We used to work for the Continental Air Micronesia Airline. It's a small company of the Continental Airlines. Now they merged with the United, so everybody flies as a United. But that company was Continental's hubs to fly out to the Pacific, from the Hawaii to Japan, different Asia, Pacific Island, and Australia. That's the route that we took care of. And after I married to my husband, I was around 25. Moved to Guam and Hawaii, and then 99, we decided to leave everything behind and start a brand new career and move to Maryland.
Oh my gosh! So you both gave up the aviation. He was
yes.
But that's okay. So right there, that's a pretty big, bold change. So let's go back to that time, right?
Sure.
You're kind of starting from scratch. You have no local friends. You're coming to this country, with a big idea, and you're both pivoting a career, which is scary. And people are listening. You're like, oh my God. So take us back to that time. What was going on inside you for both of you? Tell us what was going on.
Oh, okay. So around that time we were living in Hawaii. I finished my career as a flight attendant when I was pregnant. My daughter was 3 years old around that time. When my husband decided to move forward with his career. So what was happening was Continental Airline was graciously offering they may have reducing the number of flight attendants. Like if you go, we'll give you stuff. So you can move to the continental US, move to the different base, work as a continental employee, keep on flying, or you can take the early retirement option a little bit of lump sum and then little benefits. You can fly out with a cheaper rate for, a certain amount of time. And then, that's option for you. Always, airline was really great for us. So my husband at that time, airline works as a seniority base. So if you're hired earlier, you have a 10 years career, then you have a much more leverage. The brand new people, the 6-month hired people, not going to have much choice in the flight schedule and so forth. So around that time, layoff area, my husband's seniority was pretty high. He wasn't the way of the cut it up, those numbers people, because always younger, working year people gonna be cut off. Yes. Yeah. But around that time, I asked him, what do you really want in your life?
Oh, I love that. Okay, good question.
We were just 30 years old, and I asked him, we can start all over again here. So if you, right now we are still young, my daughter is small, we are still in 30. So we can start all over again. But if you don't take this chance, and 10 years later, you're 40, and you finally decide, Mayumi, I don't want to do this job anymore. Then you don't have any other skills. So you're 40. Then around that time, then if you confess me like you want to change career, I will say, no, just to stick with this job and retire and get the
right.
That's what I will do.
Right.
So this is the time we can take the leap of faith. So don't worry about anything, but what do you really want in your life? That I honestly ask, because I can work too. So my husband confessed he wanted to go into one goal. He's a crime scene investigator now. That was his
crime scene investigator.
Yes,
that is a pretty big.
But that was his goal. He was his dream. Around that time was. They even didn't have that name outside yet, like now. Forensic was start to well known.
Right.
Forensic profiling was very, very popular. And my husband wanted to become a crime scene investigator, but majority of the class he has to take, his route was around that time, there wasn't much detective job. There was only you work at the chemical lab and then you're going to just test, evidence.
You're a scientist.
Yes, but my husband is not the chemistry or scientific guy. He's very personable, but at the same time, he is so zoning in and he can really meticulously work and in depth in certain things. So that's what he wanted to do. So he said, I want to be in this field, crime scene investigator. And then it's like, then no brainer. You have to probably finish your college.
Right.
That time, at the same time, he was also felt inferior. He had the inferior complex. He dropped out from college and didn't have a degree. So he said, I want to have a degree. So I said, I agree with you. You can finish your degree. But in Hawaii, there wasn't much choice to look for the university, University of Hawaii or other university, but there was no place that he can really study that to become a crime scene investigator.
It's very specific.
So I said, why don't we move back to your, closer to your family? The year prior to this conversation, we visited my husband's family. We used to, visit them often because we worked for the airline company, so we could go anywhere very easily. And I experienced Maryland. They are not really from the Maryland, but the two of his sisters were at that time living in the Maryland. So we visited. And I said, I think I can live there. We can start all over again. And then my husband is, are you serious? I said, yes, let's go. And my husband didn't know this, he has a foreign wife. He's like, oh my gosh, my wife is not American. She's going to move to the continental USA. It's not the Pacific area. There are lots of Asian people still live there. So partially you feel like you are still in some part of Asia. You think it's Japanese or Chinese or Korean or something like the language you hear all the time. It's a totally different place. And he said, are you really okay? I said, I think I'm pretty flexible. So let's move. And then that's how we moved. So what we did was, we even didn't have a job. So while we are working, I asked my husband, you know what, when we move there, we don't even have a job. So how are we going to rent an apartment? Probably we don't have any reference. So it's going to be very difficult to rent. So while we are working, can you just fly out there and then negotiate with the apartment management people that, we will be moving to, this location soon. However, both of us going to coming from Hawaii. There is no job, but we can pay you 6 months of rent.
So you got creative.
So always win-win, I'm prepared, win-win, no-brainer offer. So we're going to pay 6 months ahead. So they are not going to say no. It's like, oh, sure.
This is so great. Wait, I want to pause first because this is an amazing story, first of all. I can't wait to watch the movie. But Mayumi, there's a couple things going on. You're young and you're asking these really important questions, right? About like, what's the life that you want to have, right? And then also thinking about, okay, the facts are, I don't have this, but what do I have and how can I leverage that? You tested it out, you went there, you created the no-brainer offer, which I love the name of that. And so it's like almost in your relationship, I'm seeing you like you're the one who's like asking the questions and then taking these leaps. So by the time you decided, you're in Maryland and you're like, I want to open this business. Were you scared or were you like, oh my God, I moved to a new country. I, did this, I can totally do it. Or did it bring up like that imposter syndrome again?
Okay. So there will be a time lag. I went to the school. I moved here solely. I even didn't think like I'm going to have my own business. I was thinking in the future, yes, I want to have my career and maybe have a business, but supporting my husband, make his dream goal come true was the priority around that time. So I just came along with him. But when he was finishing his college degree, I also thought about I have to think about my future, and I went to school and so forth. But how I decided to open up my studio was at first, I was already cosmetologist, meaning that I can do hair, nail, makeup, and then skincare. In the beginning, at first, my aspiration was I'm going to become a makeup artist. It's so funny. I don't even put the makeup on. But
neither do I, but we all know that.
I'm going to put the makeup on, I'm going to be a makeup artist and then, empower women. And then I did a little research, and then cosmetology license gives everything that you can do the makeup, nail, hair. So I was like, oh, okay. Instead of just getting a certificate of makeup artist, this license going to go give me a lot more, opportunity. So I went there and then did the hair for a while. But I wasn't up for the spa industry. It's very busy by, like a fashionable vibe. It wasn't this zen and relaxing, and calm your mind type of place. So I was still trying to convince myself, but next was, I want to maybe if I can create my own spa, I can feel better. So in order to have a spa, I have to get the skincare, because in United States, always the spa means the hair and then skincare, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have a license, but I never studied about the skin in depth. So next I'm going to enroll myself into the skincare school. That's what I did. I made the hairdresser career as a part-time, and I enrolled the evening school of skincare.
And were you taking care of your kids also at this time?
Yes.
And your husband, right?
Yes.
So you're doing it all.
My schedule was around that time, literally 5 minutes division. 5 minutes I will do it here. This 30 minutes I'm driving, but I can listen this, I can study that. Every 5 minutes was packed. And I had the moment that I cried in the car, so much pressure and raising my own daughter, but I never got the education in United States. Everything I had to interpret that I learned in Japan, this is probably what they are teaching here. So, do the homework and everything. Everything was changed and new, takes much longer time. So sometimes pressure was enormous. But I didn't want to show it to anyone or to my husband. I cried in my car when I parked.
Right. Because you were adapting all this information, which I'm sure you didn't have not the language and also the knowledge for, because it's very specific. Was there anything when you were in class that you were thinking, getting ideas like, this is a very like Western way, like the Eastern way of thinking about this would be this. Were there other times while you're going to school that you started to think of ideas of how you would do it in your own spa? Like how you would incorporate like your culture and like all of those things that you ultimately brought to your studio. Did that happen at school or later?
No, not really. At the school, when I was learning aesthetics, I was new at this. I was experienced a facial, but I never provided to somebody. So just the learning was really, really intense. this is the way they call European facial in the United States, the massage and so forth. So I learned the sequence. And then I went to the very, very good school. The founder, her name is Carol Walderman. She already retired. So my school that has been graduated, which has been really known for the really well crafted program, aesthetic school in the United States called Von Lee. Mrs. Walderman already infusing energy healing aspect into the massage technique. I didn't know. She was talking about it, but I never really fully pay attention. So her facial technique was somewhat different than regular aesthetics.
Right.
So I learned much more in depth, and then she introduced me lots of interesting spiritual energy healing type of books while I was in school, attending aesthetic school. All the break time, I used to go to her room. Instead of chatting with the classmate, I go to her room. It's, Mrs. Waldman, I finished reading this book. Do you have a next book? Anything that you recommend?
And you're like, how old are you now? Are you like are you 35, 30? How old were you when you were doing all of this?
I enrolled in 30. So I was in the cosmetology school was 30. So probably around that time, 36 years old.
Okay. So you're like, all right, I'm going to go. You were excited. It sounds like you were excited about it.
Yes.
And you were hungry for the information.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when I talk to people about making a pivot or starting something new, like that feeling that you're describing, like on one hand, you're crying in the car, right? Because you're in the middle of a transition. Mm-hmm. You don't know what happens in the future. You don't know about your studio. You just know that this is hard. You left something that was, by that time, I'm sure flying was pretty easy for you. And I really want to just draw that out because I think that both of these things happen at the same time. You're excited and you're passionate about the new thing, and you're scared out of your mind. You're overwhelmed and you're juggling a lot because you're changing your life. So I just really wanted to point that out to our listeners because I think that when people are creating something new, they have a story that when it's the right thing, there's not supposed to be any pain or suffering or challenges. But that's not true. And you're here to tell us about it. Okay, so you were in this space and you were really hungry for the new information. And so what happened? Like, how did you start to see yourself in this identity shift from like, like an immigrant and a flight attendant and a wife and a mom to an entrepreneur?
Yes. So what happened was while I was attending the aesthetic school, I was part-time working, part-time attending an evening aesthetic school. So part-time evening aesthetic school is like a 12 to 13 months, takes much longer. And around the halfway, so 6 months passed, I felt like, I can go with this program. I can pretty sure that I can finish well. So I asked, I went to the Mrs. Waldeman's room again during the break time.
I love
Waldeman, do you know anyone who uses this facial product, the facial product that Mrs. Waldeman was using at school? Very high level of skincare product, very professional one. And I didn't see in the nearby anybody using it. And I want to become an assistant. Mrs. Waldeman, I already have a license, so I can work. And I don't even need the pay. I just need to see what they are doing. I'm going to be a very good assistant. Do you know anyone? Then Mrs. Waldeman said, yes, exactly. I have somebody stop by last week. This person is from Europe originally and then graduated from school. She was looking for the assistant. So I will send you, this is her contact information. So I prepared my resume and I showed up the meeting and then went into the interview. The person was, okay, Mrs. Waldeman sent you. I don't have to even see it. She even didn't take a look at resume. No,
she just trusted Mrs. Waldeman.
Yeah. Okay, you're good. And I said, you don't have to even pay me. My schedule is pretty tight, so I cannot really commit certain amount of time to be an assistant. But what I will do is that I am working part-time in school. So any time that I have an opening, I will let you know. And then if I can just come in, observe, I will clean, vacuum, I will take the towel home and then wash it for you. I will do everything for you. So win-win offer just came, another win-win offer.
Another no-brainer offer.
Right, no-brainer.
Right.
So
that's
it's like,
so great.
You don't have to pay me. Yeah, you don't have to pay me. So what she's going to say, it's like, okay, right? So she was like, that's fine. So that's what I did. This month I have a time distance, this and this. So can I show up around this time? And I observe, I may help something. And I just watched, see how she conduct the facial. And then it's like, this is how real pro people doing that. It's very different than, students performing facial at the school.
Right.
So,
this is so cool because one of the things I think is really important when you're making a pivot like this is to testing, like experiments. And so offering to be a shadow sort of, right. And like help her, and offering your time for free is a great example of learning new skills, making sure you love it, like immersing yourself in that next level. I'm sure you learned not just how she was doing the facials, but what her appointment scheduling software is like, and right, like what's working with that, and what does she do if people are late or if they cancel, or how does she upsell them? You learned everything just by that experiment.
Yes. So used to be like my father, I am Japanese, so my father's generation people used to do the apprentice. Meaning it's exactly like I did. You may not gonna be paid regularly, but usually they're gonna prepare the place to stay and meals and everything. and you work almost free. Time to time, they're going to give you a generous amount of some kind of money, but it's not the salary every month.
Right.
But they can network with the real industry people. You learn from the top people how to do the business from top people. That's so not to fail, right? It's like from the successful people. So that's how Honda, everybody was doing. My father grew up in that environment. So I knew if I do that, then it's win for me. So that's what I offered. And then I became after I graduated, I started working with this European person. And yeah, she just gave me a commission. And I worked with her total 3.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
that was the time that I done that 3.5 years. This the time for me. So I'm going to open up my studio. But again, this time I made sure I was apart from this person's salon.
Right.
It's more than 1 hour. I'm not going to step in at all. I never didn't want to steal the clients in this industry. Sad thing is that people learn from you and then start doing the business next door and trying to skim the clients from you. That's why nobody wants to teach. But I had the courtesy, and before I left, I asked this person, is that okay if I just say goodbye to your client? I'm not trying to take the clients away. I just don't want to be finished and then disappear abrupt.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. She was like, oh, okay, sure. So, she let me do it. So I didn't take any of the contact information. But when I said thank you and then send the information, the letters or whatever, 2 people somehow found my contact information.
Right.
And then 2 people like, Mayumi, I rather want you to do my facial. That's how I started with the 2 people. And then those 2 people are even not the monthly clients. One person was once every 2 month client, and one person was once every 3 months facial person. So now I'm like, okay, I have to start to make things happen.
Yeah. So that was my next question. So, you grew the 6-figure salon in Maryland, starting from nothing, from those 2 clients. What were the key business moves and the way you were approaching it, the way you're thinking about it that got you to your success?
Since I am an immigrant and I wasn't, grow up the area that way, where I live. So I just couldn't sit around. I had to get it out there, let the people know.
Right.
And once they experience my facial, I know that they will be impressed and then they will come back and word of mouth will start happen. So I was confident about that. So what I did was I attended all the business networking, gathering those meetings around that time. People are really heavily meeting. So I attended every single one of them. I volunteer the local small business community, trying to do the charity venue for the town or something like that. I start to know people, and then what I do. And then one of the network meeting I found was very good match for me. So those were women and who are in transition, and then just gather and network. Who, you don't have to even have a business, but you just want to have an authentic connection, then this the meeting. Then I attended. And that was the real key moment. I started connected with the potential clients, became friends. And by knowing me, meeting at the network meeting, wow, I want to try your facial. And then start to, happen.
So you went, so the really big key for you is getting out in your community and meeting people. And did you, at the beginning, did you offer discounts or lower prices, or did you always hold your prices very high to get people in the door.
So my price is, there is no discount, but this is what I did. I'm sorry, my headset is.
There you go.
So this is what I did. Like I said, I'm very confident about my work.
Yeah.
So once they experience it, they will understand. So how they gonna come through my door and then lay down the table? That's the big deal.
That's the hard part.
So hard part. So what I did was first 3 years, I'm not the technical person. I didn't have a website or a social network or anything like that. So I created the word mouth tool. How I did that was I talked to my clients. They were like, "Oh my gosh, Mayumi, this was great. Wow, I never experienced like this type of facial. This is not even facial. People are talking about it." And then I tell my clients, if you refer me someone and that person comes for the facial the first time, the new client's going to come always with the regular license, no discounts or anything. But for you, I will, next time when you come for the facial, as a thank you, I will give you a 50% discount.
So that's amazing. That is so like that you're getting paid to tell your friends, and your skin looks great, and they're like, what? Did you lose weight? Are you having more sex? What's going on? They're like, no, I just got a facial from Mayumi.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So people will pay for the advertisement and everything, but those people will be the one that become the walking, talking, marketing for me. So rewarding my client was the best. So started from to then, wow, I'm going to think about my friends, my family, my sister, neighbor, everything. So one by one. And then I tell the same thing. And then, wow, that's too generous. Are you sure? I'm like, yes, because I don't know anybody. Yeah. So I really appreciate if you would do that, for me. That would be really great. So people start to refer me. And then first 3 years, this is how I made my list of clientele.
That is amazing. And then did you get to the point where you had so many customers you had to train other facialists, other estheticians to do the work, or did you just add on your healing?
Yes. So from the beginning, my facial was people are talking about the healing. It's like, Mayumi, you are healing people. This is not facial. I was like, what? No, you have to name this facial like Reiki facial. My clients are the one telling me, suggesting me, this is not the facial. You are doing totally different. So I was thinking about the balancing of body, mind, spirit, but I never been trained to do any energy healing, and I didn't know, but that, like I mentioned, that Mrs. Walterman was already incorporating some of the massage technique infused with the energy work. I wasn't paying attention around that time. So my clients were feeling it.
Okay.
And so that was the door to, wow, many people just started, telling this thing. So I have better start taking classes. I even didn't know what the Reiki was. Reiki is well-known energy healing modality from Japan. And I grew up in Japan. And I graduated from college from there, but the 20 years, I never heard of it. So it's like, at first I thought that this is probably Western people created. And I was like, these people are scammers. I was very skeptical. It's like, really? I never heard of it. So this is how I went to the first Reiki class. And, sounds like it makes sense. And then all the scripture writing is in Japanese, and it's a 90-20s. So it's a little older way of writing. It's like, it really makes sense. This cannot be...
Did you feel like you were destined to do this? I mean, here you are, like, you don't know anything about it. You're living in Japan. You come to America, and then you're like rediscovering this ancient Japanese based healing? I mean, did it feel like coming home? Like, oh, I had to go on this journey? Because now you're actually teaching other practitioners to build healing businesses, right?
Yes.
In addition to your studio.
Yes. The first Reiki was actually very subtle energy. So I didn't feel anything at all. And I thought I'm a failure. Other students said, Mayumi, you're doing Reiki, but I never felt energy or never sensed anything. So I was like, oh, I'm a failure. I was keep taking the classes, but it seems to get it. So I moved on, start taking a different energy healing modalities. And around 2015, one of the energy healing modality called access bars, that was the time I started feeling a tingling sensation in the finger. And then so, oh, it is the one people talking about the feeling energy. And then after that, 2019, so it's not that far, I discovered the quantum touch. That's the energy healing modality that I also teach, and then majority of the time incorporate with the facial.
That is so amazing. I love this story so much. I just could interview you for hours. So now you have, so tell us about what's your business like now, like the after, like you took the risk, you moved to America, you went to school, you had 10 part-time things. You took the leap again to leave the stable job and open your own practice. You built up a practice with no training. You're not a marketing expert. You're not a salesperson. You turn it into healing. Now you're teaching people to grow their practices. Like, what's your life like now? How has it changed from all this work that you've done?
It's really fulfilling. Many people said that, Mayumi, am I the last? This is the funny moment. Many clients ask me the end of the day, Mayumi, am I the last person for today? And I say, yes. Oh, it's good. After me, you can go home. And I'm like, yes. But it's funny. I want to do this job, so it never occurs me that, I'm so drained. I don't want to work. I wake up every single morning. I'm going to do this facial. Maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm so single day, I'm literally excited about it. So it never occurs to me that I want to go home. If I don't want to work, probably I can block the day and, I'm not available today and not taking any clients. I can do that a week ahead. And I don't mind taking off, but it's a joy. Just working is such a fun and fulfillment that working is that like, I don't know what to do. Yes, I can travel, but some of the people, Mayumi, why don't you take a vacation? Yes, if I want to, I can take a vacation, but I love working. So, I work alone. I probably had better train somebody, but it's not the easy, especially
right.
aesthetic skills with the energy healing techniques on top and then emulate like I'm doing it's not the easy things to master. So I haven't really, have anybody yet.
Yeah, yes. You don't have a clone of you yet.
Yeah, yes. But I just love it. So I told my clients, I'm every single day so happy. It never occurs to me like that. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, Mayumi, I envy. It's like, your work is so rewarding and you are doing something like ikigai. They were talking about it. Now ikigai people talks about.
Yes,
I grew
another
up
thing.
In ikigai. Yes, ikigai mindset. So job or work doesn't feel like a job that other people refer to.
Yes.
Other people's job is like for the money exchange they are constricted. They're 8 hours a day, something they don't want to get paid for. And then they're gonna have a great time, stress relief, with the vacation, spending that money. That's, I think, other people's job.
Honestly, it's so true. And they're all listening right now. Those are the people that are listening. And so I love this. And so now, and you're going to have a link, all our listeners can get a link to Mayumi's social media, because she has that now, but also her site, where if this is something that you're interested in, she has a 12-week program to actually help energy healers double their revenue. And obviously she's living proof, and all the obstacles that you've overcome are just testament to what's possible when you're doing what you love, and you follow the breadcrumbs, and you take the risks, and you live this very, very brave life. If there's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who is listening, who is stuck and spending all their money on vacation just because they want to get out of their get away from their job, what advice would you have from them as a healer, as a woman? Like, what do you say to those ladies who are listening?
Probably find your ikigai, what you love, and then how you can monetize. And even you don't have to know how, but that you love so much that you don't feel like it's work. But there is the people who needs that type of work. I want to brother pay you and then not to do it. So how you gonna find those people? So find your passion first, and then I don't suggest to consult with others. Friends are gonna suggest to you so-called get a job and 9 to 5, so you're gonna get paid better. It's unseen, but this is America.
Yeah,
especially you have a lots of opportunity. To me, I know some of the people are in a really dire situation, but I flew and then went visit different parts of the world. American people's the quality of life. Even you think like, I'm average, I don't have anything. From other countries' point of view, you look very wealthy. Your
Amen,
life,
sister.
quality of life is so high level. So your complaint, other countries' people probably would laugh. So I will say that, you are not going to die. You are not going to die. Take a leap of faith, and then you may have to live with your friends, or you may have to talk to your family that, would you give me 2 years? I want to live back with you. I will pay the rent, but here is what I want to do. I want to save up money. I don't want to rent here. And then you have to make that type of commitment and talk with others honestly. And even they are not believer, your enthusiasm, and you thought about the logistics. This is how I want to make it. So can you help me at this time for this,
I really love that, because you're saying like to somebody, and what's funny is most people in our lives like want to support us in our dream in some way. Right. And that's amazing. By the way, where in Maryland are you located, for all our listeners who are in Maryland?
Oh, my salon is located, it's called the town Lutherville. It's 35 minutes from Baltimore.
I love it. I was just in DC. If I would have met you before, I would have come. I'm looking at Mayumi's website, like the green peel, the Japanese stress therapy facial, anti-aging, with her incredible line of products that she's created. Y'all want to find out about her. And can people buy the skincare products from you, even if they're not in Maryland, right?
No. Really, my product is specifically more designed to the people who I can sell. Even they are not gonna let us allowed to sell online. So
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to go to Lutherville, Maryland, and get your anti-aging facial. But you can also go to your website, because there are other opportunities there to do other things. Like you can get the quantum touch. There's virtual process that obviously isn't the hands-on, but you can do other things as well with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to make sure every single person that listens finds you because you're amazing. I have a lot of clients actually in Maryland. It's kind of funny. Maryland, Virginia, DC. Oh. So just tell them if you go to make an appointment, tell them you heard Mayumi on Life Check Yourself. Mayumi, thank you so much for being here. I'm just so impressed with you and your story, and also your husband. Is he a crime scene investigator now?
Yes, he is. Yes.
I love that. You guys are both living the dream. It's amazing.
Yes, he's accomplished his goal, and then he is well respected. Yeah.
Oh, that is so great. Really well. And I really think this is an important thing too. We get so caught up in the small view for those of us who are born in America, and there's just like a lot of things that are wrong, and we all own that. But I love when somebody who's an immigrant comes and reminds us that of all the choices, a lot is possible in this country, and we forget that anything is possible if you do what Mayumi said, which is you're committed, you ask for help, you follow the breadcrumbs, you have a plan, and you stay focused, and you do what you love, and then life is fulfilling. So thank you for sharing your story. I'm so happy that you were here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Ladies, oh my gosh, I love this interview so much, and I hope you did too. There's so many things that you could listen to and write down for yourself and really take on. Plus, for all of you who have businesses or ideas of businesses that you want to start, some of the very basic grassroots, old-fashioned techniques that are based on connection. You don't need to know tech. You don't need to know AI. Really being really good at what you do and sharing that with people and talking to people, making connections. There's so many things that you can do to actually live your dream on your own terms. So remember, whatever you do, it is always your responsibility to life check yourself, always and in all ways. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Listen, if you're feeling stuck, I want you to know you're not alone, and you don't have to settle for it. I've created a free quiz to help you pinpoint what's draining your energy and exactly how you can fix it. So head over to decodeyourdestinyquiz.com and take the 60-second quiz right now. That's decodeyourdestinyquiz.com. And if you're ready to dive deeper, you can book a free no-obligation consultation at marnibattista.com/private coaching. That's Marni, M-A-R-N-I, Battista, B-A-T-T-I-S, as in Sam, T-A.com/private coaching, all one word. Let's take the first step to creating a life you love on your terms. I'm Marni, and I'll see you next time.